I recently found something pretty awesome at a Goodwill outlet store. A Goodwill outlet store, you can buy stuff and pay by pound. So I bought this thing for around $3. What is this thing? It has a little handle. It's a company called ACE, Alpha Centauri Expeditions. It was distributed by 20th Century Fox Film Corporation. And I did not know what it was until I found out at home that it is actually pretty awesome and pretty cool. What is this thing? Well, it is of course a dragon. It has a little switch here. You turn this on. And then I have a little bracket which is already on my shoulder. It's a piece of metal because there are magnets underneath. And you're supposed to put this thing onto your shoulder. And by the way, recently Disney bought this toy or the franchise, and in order to promote their Pandora Avatar park in Orlando, Florida, in the Magic Kingdom. And you can buy these now for a lot of money. I saw them on eBay for around 37 to 138 bucks. So I got pretty happy to get this thing quite cheaply. As I said, you have this little handheld remote. It is basically a puppet, and it's mostly mechanical. There are, however, 2 batteries in there because it also have a noise chip in there with a little speaker, and you can actuate this little puppet. You can move the wings like this. You can open the mouth, the snout, and you can turn the head, and both together, well, with a little bit of practice, it looks quite realistic and quite fluid and cool. By the way, I've just turned it off, I think, because when I pull the switch here, it also makes noise. There you go. So a pretty cool thing, in my opinion. And of course, I thought, well, I could make it even a little bit cooler. First of all, I want to paint it black, maybe add some blood here and stuff, make it look very scary. Add some feathers to it somehow, and then maybe some LEDs onto the wings, some LED filament or something. And then I thought, well, of course, in the man cave, it would be cool when this thing also like sprays fire out of his mouth, like, you know, one of like a little propane thing. On the other hand, I thought, well, I will use some feathers and stuff that will, well, it sits on my shoulder, it will be right next to my face, and I don't want to blow it up into my face. So I thought, okay, let's at least have a little effect. What's beside of no fire, what's the next coolest thing next to fire would be some smoke. So I thought I could add maybe a little hose through the mouth to have some smoke coming out. As you may know, I work in special effects in the movies, so I make a lot of smoke, haze and fog effects and stuff. And blowing smoke through a hose is always a bad idea. There are basically two main kinds of smoke, or artificial smoke. It's oil-based smoke using an oil cracker that atomizes an oil, a mineral oil or medical oil, and it will leave you with a very, very nice even coverage in order to make light rays visible. And then you have the discotheque smoke, the ones you buy for Halloween, which are water-based. It's a glycerin, glycol, water mixture. And this stuff works by pumping it through a heat block under pressure, and it will vaporize. Of course, this stuff will condensate. So when you blow it inside here, you need a lot of smoke blowing in here to have a little smoke coming out here, because everything will condensate inside of this tube. Also, it will run back into the machine, leak out, and everything will be covered in the smeary stuff. So not a good idea, especially not for something you wear on your shoulder, and it will seep down your entire body. I will try to avoid a hose. So I thought maybe I just have an abstract source of smoke. And I thought maybe building a little smoke machine, and I can hook it up to this vane somewhere abstract, so to have like just a smoke cloud around him together with the LEDs or something would be looking pretty cool, I think. So I thought, well, I should build me a little smoke machine. I made a little bracket in order to build this thing, 3D print it, and I will put it on my webpage so you can download and print it. You will need a HDQ pen. This is a single-use pen. I don't call it by the name because YouTube nowadays. You can buy this on probably every gas station in the States. You will need a little fan. This is a 40 by 40 millimeter fan, a standard sized miniature fan. A little step-up voltage converter, because I will power this entire thing with a little battery. And When you open this up, there's a little cap here. You can pull out the entire electronics, and it will leave you with this package here, which is basically a battery. It's a lithium-ion battery with this little sensor chip that senses when you suck on it. We don't need those, but this is quite a nice battery for other projects. I will need this. This is basically a plastic tube with a foam-like substance inside where that holds the actual liquid. In my case, I will put in some flavorless, nicotine-less liquid in order to produce the smoke. There is a little resistance wire in there, and you have the 2 wires coming out here. And when you apply a voltage or current, it will heat up and it will create smoke, and the fan will blow through it and blow it out. And as I said, I made a little bracket to put everything together with the electronic, with a little cable on it, with a switch that I will put somewhere over here in order to, you know, activate the smoke while playing around with this thing. Yeah, so that's basically the idea, what I want to do. It's not a tutorial because I haven't done it yet. It's more to give you an idea what you can do and what not to do, or what works and what doesn't work, because I'm looking forward to try out if this actually works together with silicone in order to cover this thing. Yeah, let's get started. The idea is this, I cut this off about an inch. And spray painted this black, and then this goes back in here like this, and this is almost friction fit, so as the fan. These are so precisely in there that you can just squeeze them in. Don't even need to really mount them somehow. They will stay in there forever. There we go. Not bad at all. Actually pretty nice. Now let's try to mix up a batch of latex. It says it's a highly flexible one. I don't know if there are differences in natural latex. I think it's usually it's a product that is based on ammonia. Yeah, it is. So you have to watch out with your nose a little bit. I will just try a little bit in order to see if this will hold on here. So I poured me a little batch of this latex, and now let's try to put in a little bit of pigment, black pigment, and see if this will work even. After 5 minutes of mixing, I added quite a lot of black pigments and also some black acrylic paint. I hope this will stay flexible later on. I doubt it, but well, we'll see. However, finally we get something like black latex here. Now let's see, let's try this. I should try it somewhere where it does not hurt too much if it doesn't work, like over here. And I will just try to brush it on there. Okay, so far so good. I found out a couple of pretty awesome things. First of all, this is my little tiny smoke machine. I assembled it right now. As I said, I will put the link on on my webpage. The link is down below in the description, of course. Yeah, it's basically a very simple bracket. You need a fan and this thing. As I said, I cut an inch off, so this is like the chimney coming out of here. This is the little charging port, and I put in a cable with a knob, so yeah, I can remote control the fog, and you see this works quite well. It actually makes quite a bit of smoke. Pretty awesome. But something even more awesome. There are 2 more points of awesomeness. First of all, this latex paint seems to be working pretty well. It's really bonding to the actual silicone skin. On the other hand, as the skin is quite flexible, I managed just right now to put the silicone hose underneath here and wiggle it through so it comes out here. And I can hook up the machine something like this somewhere over here. I'm still not 100% sure how I do it, but for now, when I wiggle this hose into the spout of the machine, this actually looks pretty awesome. So I would have this then here, and when I push the knob, Well, it takes a second, of course, because the smoke needs to come out the hose, but you see this? How awesome is that? Let's tie that down already. So, and I will try to shorten the hose to make it as short as possible to avoid the condensation I mentioned before. I'm asking myself, should I now continue with the LEDs before I start layering over the actual new skin, the black skin? I still have some LED filaments which come in quite handy right now. Yes, I have, this is blue, this is orange and green. For a black, I would say blue would be nice. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So that would be perfect. 1.9 is not enough. Let's go up 2 volts, 2.8 volts behind like this. Yeah, so it would light up the entire wing. I could add an Arduino in order to hook up 6 of those filaments to each pin, so I have control over them. I can make them fade or chase each other. There we go. Nice, okay. So this is quite flexible. This should work. I think it will work. Let's see, when I hook this up somewhere around here, and then the lines go over to the, yeah, that could work. In things of electronics, all the lines, vanes and whatever are done now to this thing. So I can move over to the next step, which is the paint job and the second skin, so to speak, out of latex, liquid latex. Yeah, of course the Arduino and all the electronics, well, the Arduino I will do later. For now I will concentrate on the look of it, with the feathers and all that stuff. This needs like a first coat that needs to be dried in order to make this latex stick better, because for now, of course, it's not very even. But it will become even, I am pretty positive. So it's the next day, and this dried up pretty well, but I saw, well, this causes a problem here, because yeah, I really need to get into those veins and stuff. But as this is pretty hard plastic, I think I will go ahead and remove the latex from here, and I will paint this later on with acrylic paint or airbrush paint or something like that. The nice thing about latex is you can just pull it off like this. Now next, I will try to make him some little horns. I'm not following an exact pattern what I wanted to do. I just want, first of all, I want to make him look very angry and bad. And I thought adding some little horns could be nice, also to more camouflage what it was in the beginning to start with. So I got me some polymorph. I ordered this a long time ago on eBay. This basically is it is some sort of a plastic. It comes in these little pellets here. And you're supposed to mix this with into some boiling water, and it will become translucent, and it will become malleable, like, well, like some kind of hot glue kind of stuff. I also got some pigments here in order to color it. So I got me a glass, and I got me some boiling water that I still have to heat up again. And then I will try to modulate something here. Some little horns, and I will stick them down with some additional latex before I cover the entire head section with latex. With a careful touch, I will mix this together. I will probably only need half of it. I will put the rest back in the water. Probably something like this. Maybe more straight. That's not too bad, actually. Take it back out, and then I'll try to remodel. This is not too bad. Okay, next I want to glue them down. At least for now, I will brush on some of my black latex milk here. It's just to give it a little hold for now. The bristles of the brush are already gluing together, so good to make the eyes first with the new brush, and or everything that's tiny and detailed, and then afterwards you use the brush just to smear it on there. Now again, what's pretty cool about this project is that as I use latex milk, theoretically I could pull off the entire skin afterwards and remove all signs of tuning this thing up. You see, after only like 2 minutes this starts to clump up on the brushes, so yeah, you would definitely get you a new brush in order to make details like the eyes. Do them first, and then well, continue with this lump of the rubber on top of your brush. And for now I have not encountered any issues in senses of acrylic paint mixed together with this latex milk. It does not crack or become too stiff or something. It's still very flexible and works pretty well, I must say. I will let this dry a bit, and then I will go over again. Okay, so I covered him in some black latex, added some horns and a little bit of blood here, and I put some varnish on so it's a little bit more shiny. Now we'll go over to the actual feathers. I don't want to make him look like a bird. I just want to add some feathers, pretty abstract maybe. We'll see. I got me some black hot glue sticks and well, some feathers from Amazon and my hot glue gun. So I will try how this will look. Crossing is not good. Something like this, something like logic. Feathers and hot glue, the best combo ever. Next, I grabbed me some chain links. Got this at the dollar store, so as a belt. I will make him a leash. So I thought a leash would be nice with a chain that somehow attaches to my cloth later on. The chain is done, and I must confess it looks pretty cool. It gives this thing more of a some kind of domestic flair. However, I thought I'd go a step further. I have noticed that these little flaps here, they now with the feathers look a little sad like this. So I thought maybe I can extend them and make them look like bat wings, you know. So I grabbed me some aluminum wire. This is the stuff you use for making jewelry. This bendable aluminum wire. The idea is to later on glue this with latex underneath and to extend the wings by pouring it with latex, with black latex, and give it some shape of a bat wing. Yeah, that's the idea of it. Something like that. I think I will use some ABS filament just to make those little bones. This does not have to be very sturdy because it will be covered in latex later on. So it's just to give the impression of something more 3D. I laid this out on some wax paper. I will try now to glue this on with a dot of hot glue. Now I add my latex. Should be plenty. In the beginning I was a little concerned because no matter how much of paint or iron oxide I added to the latex, it just became gray. But after drying, it became way darker. It took me around 6 days fiddling around, and he's finished, and I'm quite satisfied with the outcome. It wasn't that complicated. Basically, you don't have to do the LEDs, you don't have to do the smoke thing. Already like this, it is a pretty cool prop, and you just need some liquid latex, some pigments, and you can paint him and color him every color you like. Yeah, it's quite a nice, cool thing to have. A little bit early for Halloween. Well, it's never too early, but still 3 months to go, so I have to put him somewhere. So I built a little stand for him because I don't want to tuck him away somewhere in a drawer or so. So yeah, I made a little stand, a Key West cemetery themed stand to put him on. Don't show too much how I built that thing because it's a whole different story. However, he's nameless, and it would be pretty cool if you guys could drop some name ideas in the comments, and maybe also a little story. Where does he come from? Why is he on my shoulder? So I could make a little plate with his name on and a little story to put on his stand. So I bought me a little rucksack, a little backpack on Amazon in order to fit all the electronics and stuff. I have my remote control with the 2 buttons, one of course for the smoke, and the other one is for the LEDs. I use ChatGPT in order to program some lighting or some chasers and lighting effects. There you can see it. So by a push of a button I can swap between different lighting modes, and some chasers and some faders and stuff like that. Pretty cool. It's pretty bright in here, so you don't see it too well. Maybe from the back you see it better. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Well, however, this is my favorite. This is the lightning effect. I will put the Arduino code and also the little bracket for this homemade smoke machine onto my webpage, so you can download this for free. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I see you on the next one. Happy early, very early Halloween. Until then, see ya.